The eyes of the world are once again on Ukraine, a nation navigating the relentless pressures of war and the complex dynamics of international support. From the heart of Kyiv, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky addressed his nation and the global community, sending a clear and resolute message: Russia's aggression will not go unanswered. In a statement that captures both the gravity of recent events and Ukraine's determination, Zelensky emphasized the country's strategic responses to Russian attacks and the importance of international partnerships in fortifying Ukraine's defense. He began by highlighting a key component of Ukraine's defense strategy, the Pearl program, or the prioritized Ukraine requirements list. This initiative, he explained, allows Ukraine to acquire advanced American weapons, particularly vital air defense systems and the missiles that power them. Zelensky's words underscored the urgency of equipping the nation with Patriots, a missile defense system critical for shielding Ukrainian cities from the ongoing barrage of Russian attacks. Missiles for Patriots are especially important in this program, Zelensky remarked, stressing that the austere ability to intercept incoming threats directly impacts the survival of countless civilians and the resilience of Ukraine's infrastructure. In a reflection of recent operational successes, Zelensky turned to the performance of the Patriots during the previous night's Russian assault. He noted with cautious optimism that these systems had performed effectively, shooting down ballistic missiles aimed at Ukrainian territory. Yet he also acknowledged the ongoing need for reinforcements, for additional systems, and for the missiles necessary to protect lives. Support from Europe, he explained, is crucial. This week, countries of Northern Europe, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, alongside Ukraine's Baltic allies, committed an additional $500 million to the Pearl program. These contributions are part of a broader international effort to strengthen Ukraine's defences, ensuring that it can respond to threats with both precision and decisiveness. Zelensky also highlighted upcoming agreements with France aimed at bolstering air defence and aviation capabilities, demonstrating the multi-layered approach Ukraine is taking to counteract Russian aggression. Beyond military aid, the Ukrainian leadership is securing energy stability, critical as winter approaches. Agreements with Greece and other European nations are being prepared to guarantee gas supplies, ensuring that both the civilian population and strategic operations can continue without interruption. Zelensky expressed gratitude to all partners contributing to this comprehensive support network, recognizing the global cooperation that underpins Ukraine's resilience. Turning to the nation's missile program, Zelensky praised the operational achievements of Ukraine's Long Neptune missiles, which have been used in long-range strikes against Russian targets. These systems, he noted, have consistently demonstrated their effectiveness, with each month bringing improved results. Zelensky's acknowledgement of the military personnel and manufacturers responsible for these successes serves as both a morale booster for Ukraine's forces and a signal to the world of the country's growing precision capabilities. The Ukrainian president then spoke directly about the escalating consequences for Russia. Russians will increasingly be unable to turn a blind eye to the war, he said, stressing that the scale and visibility of Ukraine's responses make it impossible for Moscow to ignore the realities on the ground. This clarity, he added, comes from the entirely justified retaliatory strikes carried out by Ukraine in response to Russian attacks on civilians and cities across the nation. Tragically, recent events underscore the stakes. A Russian missile strike on Kyiv claimed 6 lives in a single apartment block, with more than 30 others injured, including children. Additional strikes targeted other cities and villages, emphasizing the indiscriminate nature of the aggression. Zelensky's voice carried both sorrow and resolve as he paid tribute to the victims and their families, insisting that Ukraine must ensure no Russian strike goes unpunished. This commitment, he emphasized, is supported by a combination of Ukrainian weaponry, international sanctions, and political pressure on Russia, all of which he assured would continue to intensify. These measures, Zelensky stressed, are proving effective and will grow even more potent, signaling to Russia that each act of aggression meets a coordinated and forceful response. Shifting focus from the battlefield to governance, Zelensky detailed efforts at home to strengthen Ukraine's institutional integrity. Prime Minister Yulia Sviridenko recently reported on the government's audit of state-owned enterprises, a process designed to root out corruption and ensure accountability. Zelensky underscored that the results of this audit would be shared with law enforcement and anti-corruption agencies, and that the government would fully support these agencies in acting on the findings. This commitment to transparency and reform is part of Ukraine's broader strategy to consolidate internal strength while defending against external threats. Through it all, Zelensky's message remains steadfast. Ukraine is resilient, strategic, and unwavering in its defense of its people and sovereignty. Every missile intercepted, every strategic partnership secured, and every reform undertaken reflects a nation determined to survive, to strike back when necessary, and to demonstrate to the world that aggression cannot go unchallenged. In Kyiv and beyond, the reality of the conflict remains stark. Families mourn the loss of loved ones, cities brace for potential attacks, and the international community watches closely. Yet, amidst this, Zelensky's leadership provides both a beacon of hope and a clear statement to Russia. Every action taken against Ukraine will meet with a response that is measured, justified, and increasingly precise. As the war continues, the coordination between Ukraine and its international allies grows ever more critical. The combined efforts of military aid, energy agreements, and governance reforms highlight a holistic approach to national resilience. Zelensky's address, framed by recent attacks and ongoing strategies, serves not only as a nightly update, but as a carefully crafted narrative of accountability, determination, and strategic foresight. Ukraine's story, as told from Kyiv tonight, is one of a nation refusing to be passive in the face of aggression. It is a story of targeted strikes, defensive preparedness, and international collaboration. And above all, it is a story of unwavering resolve that no Russian strike, whether aimed at cities, civilians, or infrastructure, will go unanswered, and that Ukraine's future will be defended with every resource, weapon, and diplomatic effort at its disposal. Glory to Ukraine, Zelensky concluded a simple phrase, yet loaded with the weight of resilience, national pride, and an enduring commitment to justice amidst the chaos of war.